Just a quick update here on liquidity going into the close. Just looking at the SPX proxies. It's got a lot of green in there in the 15 minutes. We might get a run into the close today, but we can see that it's quite short-lived. You can see it's even here in the MAG 7. If we look at it, if we go out to the hour and see where we are positioned, look, the SPY is looking, it has turned up. There is a little bit of selling across the day, but it has turned up. Yesterday, look, I was looking a little bit too closely there. If you look at the rest of these, they were red. I said that it was going to be an off day, but I didn't think we'd get a pullback quite in the 1% region. It'd be interesting to see how it runs in the afternoon. If we look at the MAG 7, the MAG 7 are still saying, down here in the bottom right corner, they're still very red. That little bit of greening yesterday in the SVX hasn't given us any joy. Let's just have a quick look at Bitcoin. The CME seems to be where the majority of the trading is at the moment. It's also the only place that's sort of giving us a good idea of what's happening. It's okay. Coin's by far the best indicator of what's happening in the market. So here we can see that we had this little bit of buying coming in after some good positioning in coin. If I'll just bang coin up in here. If we have a look yesterday at what Bitcoin was saying, Bitcoin's still very heavy out here. This needs to be down at 0.8, 0.9. Is this sort of area is the sort of mix that we want to have. We've really had since Friday. We just had a really poor roll going into to Monday the 9th. And we can see that here too. We had some good, solid changes, really reducing that put-call ratio, and that's really run out. We can see it just here. It's just starting to slide, even though the gamma is quite high. And we've had a little bit of buying. I don't think that it's not going to take off yet. Not while America's at war. Have a quick look at that mags, and then we'll have a look at oil. Gold really beat me. Gold really beat me yesterday. I thought it was really turning green. It seems to be in a backfilling stage. I think that the market makers really can't make a market while it's still high. So here, looking at mags are in a selling. Yeah, it's a little bit sideways there. Not a terrible selling. Let's just have a quick look at oil. I'm looking at the USO. Excuse me. I'm looking at the USO here. We had this very strong buy coming in, and it's now sort of suggesting that we're back holding in a place there. I suppose we're waiting for a response from Trump. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, we're back into this selling structure here. So it's probably a take profits is my idea. Let's have a look at what gold is saying. So gold is, if you have a look, you can see there is quite strong backfilling there, and you can see it too here. There's some good backfilling in the futures. I wouldn't be surprised that if we get sideways for quite a long time. If we just look at, I was going to look at USO in the USA yesterday. I mean, this is one of the real problems. If we just knock out that gamma, so we can see a little bit better, you can just see. This is the IV here. That's very difficult for a market maker to make a market with IV that high. It's always going to bounce around at this level, and that is very true of gold. If we just have a look at gold's IV, it really hasn't come down yet. I was looking at positions yesterday to see if there was any use in buying anything, and it's really holding out at this very strong level, very high level. So we look here at this IV. We have had a little bit of buying start. We did have some buying through the last dip, but then straight away the IV came up. Anyway, it's looking like a negative finish today. The only thing I didn't really pull up was some Qs. Let's have a look at the Qs quickly. The Qs, again, they look like they've had a little bit of backfilling, especially here in the TQ. That's in the 15 minutes. Let's go out to the hour where we can really see. They're just poking along, going sideways. Obviously, they're better than a lot of the other stocks at the moment, but they are going sideways. I don't think the USA was going to be any better. We did look at the USA. Yeah, the USA was starting to sell. All right. Have a good close to your trading today, and I'll be putting out a report about an hour and a half out of the close. Have a good day. Speak to you tomorrow.